but unfortunately, most of the teas, as much as they are contracted, have not been shipped. It's only 31% of what out of the 43 which have been shipped. And if I take KTDA to KTDA, it's only 18% which has been shipped. We do hope KTDA will expedite the shipment to lessen the cost of the warehousing and improve cash flow to the farmers. Your Excellency, today, as we launch the report showing good performance of the industry, certain interventions will require your support in order to sustain the upward trajectory. One is the implementation of the programs aimed at spurring the level of value addition in the country. 2 weeks ago, my board and management visited KPA offices in Mombasa and requested to be taken to Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone. I'm afraid to report that the ground is not as much and it still needs some work to be done because we found the inhabitants still on the ground. Your Excellency, your visit to the site could hasten things. T-Board is ready, as our CEO had mentioned, is ready to put up a common user facility that we will like the efforts of the government and assistance to hasten the ground to be ready for construction in Dongo Kundu. The other case we have is the resolution of court cases which are hampering the implementation of the T-Act 2020. T-Board has engaged some of the petitioners who are willing to withdraw the cases. General Industries have already withdrawn. KTGA and their chairman is here. We had a bit of a conversation and they are willing, and I think they have accepted, we are only willing to get the formal consent of the withdrawal. Thank you very much, KTGA. Bomet County, they promised they will be having withdrawn, but we have not seen much yet, but we are still following to make sure the county and their governor promised us in Kirisho that they withdraw the court case. KTDA and East African Tea Trade Association, and their chairman and the CEO is here. We are here to see your willingness to withdraw the court cases. I know East African Tea Trade, we are already in conversation and they are very much willing, and we hope we are having, I think, a meeting in the next 10 days, and we just hope we go ahead and do that. But KTDA, we are still having a struggle, which is between the old directors and the new directors and some of the factory directors. On a good note, last month I had a meeting with former Kirinyaga factory directors who are willing to withdraw their court petitions as per the guidelines, as per your guidelines. They have sworn affidavit to that effect, presented the same to their lawyers, and do hope they will do the necessary. Finally, the finalization of the tea industry regulation and other guidelines necessary to implement the T-Act 2020. The Tea Board of Kenya has furnished drafts of miscellaneous amendments to the Senate and to the CS Agriculture. Implementation of programs aimed at addressing governance and management challenges in tea industry institutions. We had the one we called the manyora, the green malpractice. I'm happy to report most of it. We have seen a big improvement on this one. The only area we need maybe to concentrate is teas coming from Nyamira and heading to Mara, one of the factories there. But our people will be on the ground, and they are still going to go on the ground to try to solve the problem. In December, I chaired a meeting between the county commissioners, the police commandant, and the tea factories directors, all tea fraternity, and then we were talking about the effect of the hawking, because it was creating even insecurity where you go and find your teas has already been packed overnight. But I'm glad to say most of it is already now calm, and we are seeing a much, much better result coming from those meetings. Tea Board of Kenya has also midwifed the new management agreements between small-scale farmers and KTDA Management Services Limited. Very soon, the factories will be benefited by the lower commission charged by the management agent, KTDA, from the 2.5 to 1.5% plus other benefits in the agreement. The green leaf malpractices, that one I have mentioned, but we are on it. And thank you very much for gracing this occasion, Your Excellency. Now I'll call the representative, the person representing Mr. Katul, to come and represent the CS for agriculture. Mr. Katul also is in our board, so he's not a newcomer. He is now wearing two hats. Welcome, Salim.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Rashid Khator, the Secretary of Administration in the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. I have the honor, Your Excellency, to read the speech of the Honorable Cabinet Secretary, Mithika Linturi, during the launch of the Tea Industry Performance Results 2023 at the Tea House on this Thursday, 29 February 2024. His Excellency, the Deputy President, Honorable Gachagua, Chairman and Board, Tea Board of Kenya, Chairman and Directors of tea factories, all industry stakeholders present, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to join the tea industry stakeholders as you launch the Tea Industry Performance Results for 2023. Tea is one of the most critical subsectors under my ministry, and I'm glad to note that immediately you and His Excellency the President came into office, you prioritized tea value chain under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. This has since given it the attention and impetus it requires to attract government and stakeholder support necessary for its revitalization. Your Excellency, under the better, agriculture has been given a critical role of transforming the lives of Kenyans by supporting the pillars on food and nutritional security and enhancing the value of exports. To ensure realization of better targets, my ministry is implementing various programs and interventions aimed at increasing returns to farmers, creating new jobs through the micro, small, and medium enterprise, and mainstreaming the youth in agro-processing. To this end, my ministry has been working with the Tea Board of Kenya and the Tea Research Institute in Kericho to establish an incubation center on product diversification into high-value specialty teas and value addition. Once complete, the center will incubate the youth and MSMEs in specialty manufacture and specialty tea products to enable them effectively participate in the highly lucrative niche market of specialty. Key drivers for increasing the value of tea exports and returns to tea farmers my ministry has received the National Treasury approval of a concept note to incentivize tea value addition through the establishment of a common user facility, that's a CUF in Mombasa, Dongokundu SEZ, in line with the Kenya Vision 2030. Alongside the CUF, which is mainly targeting value addition by MSMEs, exporters, the concept note proposes the establishment of a scheme aimed at unlocking the potential of Kenya tea by providing both tax and other incentives necessary to make local value addition more attractive prior to exportation of tea. The value addition scheme will also entail providing logistical support in the establishment of export warehousing hubs in the Middle East, Central and West Africa, and negotiation of concessionary freight rates in order to ease market access challenges. Your Excellency, the Ministry needs your support to implement the 11 interventions contained in the concept paper to spur value addition in tea to the desired level of 50% by the year 2027. To reduce over-reliance on CTC production, the Tea Board of Kenya has in the last 3 years licensed over 15 tea factories to manufacture orthodox teas to reduce the CTC production and increase the value export earnings for the country and returns to farmers in line with the government's agenda. I urge tea factory to leverage on this opportunity to upscale their manufacture of orthodox teas and undertake value addition at factory level in order to increase their earnings from tea sales. Your Excellency, sir, the stakeholders in the tea industry are particularly happy with the government support towards value addition and product diversification. The recent zero rating of VAT for teas meant for value addition through the Finance Act 2023 is expected to spur packaging of tea before export, which will in turn contribute to increase in exports, earnings, and job opportunities for our youth. To mitigate against the decline in tea imports by Pakistan, which is the largest importer of Kenya tea, accounting for 40% of Kenya tea exports, last year I led a delegation of tea industry stakeholders to Pakistan to negotiate with the government of Pakistan on facilitating access to requisite foreign currency to pay for imported teas. Consequent to this intervention, tea was listed among essential food items in Pakistan and thus giving priority in terms of allocation of dollars by the Central Bank of Pakistan to facilitate its imports. Today, Pakistan has resumed their normal monthly import requirements of tea from Kenya, which had fallen to nearly half at the beginning of the year 2023. Being the biggest buyer of our tea, enhanced demand by Pakistan is expected to stabilize the export prices. I am also happy to note the increasing export of value-added teas to West Africa under the African Continental Free Trade Area framework. Several Kenyan tea companies, including Ketepa, have opened distribution networks in West and Central Africa. I therefore urge the tea traders to continue harnessing the opportunities presented by the currently under the guided initiative with ECOWAS, where there are 15 member countries with whom they can enjoy preferential negotiated tariffs. Your Excellency, sir, the tea farmers are also grateful to you and the President for extending the fertilizer subsidy program to tea amongst other crops. This is because even though tea is majorly an export crop, it is a source of livelihood for many Kenyans, particularly the 834,129 tea farmers spread across 20 counties who grow tea as a cash crop. In the current financial year, the government provided fertilizer subsidy to tea farmers in all smallholder tea factories. This significantly reduced the cost of fertilizer from over Kenya shillings 7,000 per 50 kilogram bag to Kenya shillings 2,500, and consequently reduced on their farm gate costs. Further, it is expected that following the application of the fertilizer during the short rain season, productivity and quality of green leaf will be enhanced and consequently tea farmers' earnings. Your Excellency, I'm also happy to note that most of the smallholder tea factories have reviewed and signed their management agreements with KTDA to enhance effectiveness and efficiency in the management of the smallholder tea factories. I urge tea factories and KTDA management services to implement the reviewed management agreements in order to address some of the challenges facing tea factories and returns to farmers. One of the most immediate impact of the revised management agreements is reduction in the management agency costs borne by the tea farmers. This will translate more into earnings to the tea farmers across all the smallholder tea factories. Ladies and gentlemen, may I conclude by mentioning that sustainability of the tea subsector calls for collaboration and continuous consultations amongst the industry stakeholders. My ministry will work with your offices and other stakeholders to make the tea industry more profitable and sustainable for the benefit of all stakeholders and the country at large. Signed, Honorable Mithika Linturi, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Thank you.
Your Excellency, I would like now to call the chairman, the one I had already mentioned earlier, just to make very brief comments on the tea and the areas that they represent. At the beginning, I will call Mr. Enos Jero, Mr. Jero, the chairman of KTDA, holding to come and make up brief remarks.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Gachagua, the representative from the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good morning. Before I make my remarks as I stand here, Your Excellency, I want to recognize my board which accompanied me and some senior management. I would like to kindly request them to stand up with the congregation. Board and senior management from KTDA. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We gather here today to commemorate the monumental milestone we have achieved in the tea sector. Tea, ladies and gentlemen, is among the leading foreign exchange earner in our country and therefore plays a magnificent role in our economy. I am therefore greatly honored and privileged to stand before you to reflect on the successes we have achieved as an organization and to celebrate the significant contribution we've made to the tea sector in general. First and foremost, let me acknowledge the transformative innovations at KTDA that have powerfully impacted the way we do our business and improved services delivery to our farmers. The introduction of groundbreaking initiatives such as the KTDA mobile application has revolutionized the way we, as an organization, we conduct business and interact with our tea farmers. Through this technology marvel, I am proud to say that our farmers can now access vital information regarding their tea statements, leaf kilos, and even borrow from Greenland Feather microfinance or from the convenience of their mobile phones. This has not only empowered our farmers but also streamlined processes, enhancing efficiency and productivity across the board. In the last 2.5 years, our collective effort as an agency have yielded tangible results in terms of the returns to our small-scale tea farmers. I am proud to note that we have realized a remarkable increase in bonus payment in this period. For instance, the highest paying factory in this period has surged from 30 shillings per kilo to an impressive 57 Kenya shillings per kilo. This represents a positive growth of 90%. Moreover, we have in this period upheld an unwavering commitment to the welfare and prosperity of our most valued asset, the small-scale tea farmers. I am happy to note that we have increased farmers' monthly pay by 9 Kenya shillings per kilo, and payments have been made promptly by the 5th of every month. On the same note, KTDA prides itself as the only agriculture-based business that offers farmers the stability that comes with a steady monthly income and pay slips that they can use to secure loan for their investment and development projects. This, ladies and gentlemen, speak volumes about positive trajectory we are on. Furthermore, we have been making significant strides in the value addition of Kenyan tea. Notably, we have been able to capitalize our remarkable expertise and the wealth of experience of our team to indulge in robust value addition practices and develop unique products such as the new KTDA Chai Gold, a product that has not only captivated domestic consumers but also opened up lucrative new markets abroad. This diversification strategy not only strengthens our resilience but also enhances sustainability by positioning Kenya as a formidable force in the global tea trend. But our success story does not end there. We have demonstrated climate-sensitive leadership by spearheading the implementation of the project aimed at conserving our environment. We have unlocked stored hydropower projects, with 5 of them being fully operationalized and 4 more set to be launched imminently. This underscores our proactive approach towards sustainability and environmental stewardship, ensuring a brighter and a greener future for generations to come. In response to our farmers' need, we have, through our subsidiary, Greenland Feather, facilitated access to friendly credit services, significantly lowering lending rates from 21% to a mere 8%. This empowers our farmers to invest in their future and unleash their full potential. Now that the central bank adjusted its lending rates, currently Greenland Feather is lending at the central bank rate plus 1.5%. Yet, despite our resounding successes, challenges persist. High taxation on tea packaging materials hampers value addition effort. The burden of intercounty levies and branded vehicles further complicates matters, hindering the market of our teas when these branded vehicles move from one county to the other. I therefore urge our county government to consider harmonization of their levies to foster a conducive environment for doing business. Further, I implore the government, through our dear President, His Excellency Dr. William RUTO, and you, Your Excellency, Rigathi Gachagua, to fast track the process of zero rating tea packaging material. Additionally, pending court cases surrounding the Tea Act impede its full implementation. I therefore urge all interested parties to consider exploring all amicable conflict resolution mechanisms available so that we can fully adopt the Tea Act for the good of this industry. However, amidst these challenges, we found solace in the harmonious collaboration between KTDA, our sector regulator, the Tea Board of Kenya, and the Government of Kenya. Together, we have achieved significant milestones, including the adoption of the Tea Act of the 2020, which creates a fair ground for doing business. I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Government of Kenya through Its Excellency President William RUTO and Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua for your unwavering support and dedication to uplifting the tea sector. Notably, the Government of Kenya subsidized fertilizer program has yielded positive fruits in our sector. For instance, there has been a significant increase in tea production due to access to subsidized fertilizer, coupled with the blessings of rain bestowed upon us by God the Almighty. These factors immensely characterized the uncharacteristic increase in production and consequently higher stocks than normal in the first quarter of 2024. And despite the increase, this year we have managed to sell more tea compared to last year. In closing, let us remain steadfast in our commitment to excellence, innovation, and collaboration. Together, let us continue nurturing this golden leaf, ensuring that Kenya remains a beacon of excellence worldwide. When we strive together, when we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. Considering the stability of our industry, I do request that the government continue supporting the industry by noting that this year we are nearing the elections of the directors. And as earlier discussed with you, Your Excellency, I request that you give us support so that we conduct these elections as per the Tea Act and the memorandum and articles of association of our tea industry. May God bless you. Thank you.
Your Excellency, now I will call Collins Cheriot, the chairman of Independent Tea Producers, and please, I will request whether you can make it very brief. Yes.
Thank you, Chairman. I will make it as brief as possible. His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, the representative from the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, Chairman, Tea Board of Kenya, and representatives of the tea industry stakeholder representatives present. Good morning. I stand here on behalf of the Independent Tea Producers Association of Kenya as a chairman, and maybe just to give a few highlights. The Independent Tea Producers Association of Kenya represents 30 factories that are spread across the entire country. These factories are serving approximately 300,000 farmers from the smallholder sector. And we contribute, and particularly so in terms of our support and facilitation of the BETTER program. We contribute directly to employment opportunities of 5,000 employees, and indirectly about 20,000 people benefit from our activities. So as part of the tea industry in this country, we actually play a significant role. Currently, we are processing approximately 30% of the tea produced in this country. We're happy to be part of the launch of the 2023 Tea Industry Performance Report and appreciate the key milestones that we continue to achieve, particularly with the support of government through His Excellency the Deputy President's Office, who has actually personally taken up the responsibility of spearheading improvements and reforms in the tea industry. And as we sit here today to celebrate the achievements that we were able to see last year, 2023, we also look forward to even better performance as we continue this collaboration with the government and the regulator. As independent tea producers, we want to acknowledge the support and facilitation that we have received, not just for the independents, but also for the entire tea industry, and particularly so through the provision of subsidized fertilizer, which for the year 2023, we were able to be recognized and acknowledged by government, and through the efforts that bore fruit from the discussions with the Tea Board of Kenya and the Ministry of Agriculture. And we were facilitated with subsidized fertilizer to give to our small-scale farmers who actually supply green leaf to us. Out of that, actually, we've been able to see a significant growth in terms of volumes that have actually been delivered to our factories, and hence leading to the excellent performance that has actually been demonstrated, hitting 570 million kilograms of green leaf tea, of black made tea last year. The other aspect that we'd like to also acknowledge the support and facilitation of government is the creation and recognition of the Tea Board of Kenya, which is something that the industry has actually been asking and urging for a long time, particularly from the time when the Tea Board was actually consumed into the AFA as a tea directorate. The tea industry has always felt that for maximum benefit to be derived by the tea industry, it would be important to have Tea Board of Kenya as an independent, standalone regulator. And for that, we're really grateful for the continued support and the fact that the government listened to the industry's cry and have actually facilitated the creation of the Tea Board. As an industry, while acknowledging the growth in terms of volumes that have been achieved, we also continue to emphasize on the production of good quality standard leaf. And from the side of the independent tea producers, I want to affirm the fact that we are working very closely with the regulator to ensure that as we continue to grow volumes, we also continue to improve the quality of the green leaf, hence the quality of the made tea that is actually supplied to the market. This is what will actually enhance the prices and the return to the farmer that will be eventually expected. We've had some discussions at the initial stages. I'm happy to see that it was part of the strategic notes that were highlighted by the CEO in terms of the movement to enhance the leaf quality. And we're actually looking at the possibility that within the industry, we can have a minimum leaf quality standard that will be set across for all the farmers. That way, we can then be able as an industry to drive the quality of our teas to exceed expectations of our buyers, and of course, definitely be able to give a better return. In the discussions that we've had, I know the issue of green leaf, the green leaf supply has been raised. We want to also affirm our continued support and cooperation as independent tea producers to work with the government and to work with the regulator, the Tea Board of Kenya, and ensure that the players within our subsector of the industry adhere to the regulations as stipulated in the Tea Act 2020, and particularly so in terms of stamping out the green leaf supply malpractices. Your Excellency, I want to stand here on behalf of the independent tea producers and affirm and confirm that what has been referred to as hawking, in some instances as manyora, is no longer part of our business strategy. And from the time that we actually transitioned to formalized producers and manufacturers, we've also developed a code of practice for our members that ensures that some of these things are actually part and parcel of the activities that we do carry out. So, on behalf of the members, we want to stand and confirm that we will work with government and work with the regulator to ensure that these malpractices are actually stamped out. And as indicated by the chairman of the Tea Board, this has actually significantly been erased. We do not see it anymore as a major issue, but of course we will continue working together to ensure that that is actually stamped out. One item that I would want to just highlight as I conclude, and I know we have had discussions with the Tea Board and the Ministry of Agriculture, is to do with the costs of some of the international compliance certifications, and particularly so the Rainforest Alliance certification, which is quite expensive, particularly to the tea subsector. Our position, and we hope to work together with government and the regulator, is to actually develop a homegrown certification standard that we will be able to invite the international certifying bodies to buy into, and therefore reduce the cost that is incurred. As a way of just acknowledging what it means, for each factory virtually we spend about 5 million shillings every year just to go through the process of certification to be able to conform. Not that we are not able to do it, internally we are actually doing it, but just to get that certification. When you translate that to about 100 factories, you're looking at about 500 million shillings that is actually being paid out. This is money that could actually be saved and be returned to our farmers as an income. As I end, let me thank you very much for inviting us to grace this launch of the 2023 tea industry performance report, and also affirm our contribution and participation as independents in enhancing the development of the tea industry in this country to greater heights. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shariat. Now I'll call the chairman of Kenya Tea Growers Association, Silas Jibwakale. Mr. Jibwakale.
Thank you, Chairman. Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, the Chairperson of the Tea Board of Kenya, Tea Board Directors, Tea Board Management, and all industry stakeholders present, good morning. Many of you know me, having been in the industry for over 3 decades. As mentioned by the Chairman, I'm Jibwakale. I also double as the MD for Kipkebe Limited, that is a subsidiary of Sasini PLC. Our membership spans both west and east of the Rift producers. We are really grateful to the Tea Board to be invited to today's auspicious occasion on the release of the tea industry performance report for 2023. We would like to thank the Presidency for really intervening and securing industry operations during the unrest witnessed in Kericho last year. We are grateful for the prevailing peace as we continue to engage with the local elected leaders. I think you're very much aware of what happened last year in Kericho, but we want really to thank the Presidency for intervention and bringing peace in that region. I wish also to relay our congratulatory messages on the reinstatement of the Tea Board of Kenya. Thank you for the appointment of the new chairperson of the board, although very stubborn. new CEO, Mr. Willie Mutahi, we are very confident as an industry that with these appointments of seasoned leaders, we'll be able to contribute more to our economy with the development of sound policies. Your Excellency, we have three segments of the industry: the KDDA sector, KTGA, and independent tea producers. The large-scale producers, who are largely KTGA, contributes to approximately 40% of the tea production in the country. I think really you have a task to do here, because the independents are a real force in the industry now, because if they are contributing 30% and we are contributing 40%, it means KTGA, which is the mother, is contributing 30%. So in this year's performance analysis, you really need to place us where we should be. Your Excellency, we support rural livelihoods and economies. We ensure incomes from tea for over 60,000 smallholders, outgrowers, by manufacturing and marketing their tea alongside our own green leaf. We employ about 35,000 Kenyans directly, and almost over 2 million indirectly. We also undertake investment in the local communities through targeted activities that improve social conditions and the standards of living of communities that neighbor our areas of operation. The industry investments in local communities include the recently launched Lipton Tea Innovation and Technology Academy, FinTea Union, various educational institutions, installation of water facilities and environmental conservation efforts, among other corporate social responsibility initiatives in communities. Challenges. Of course, as mentioned by the previous speakers, overall increase in cost of doing business in terms of cost of energy, certification cost, labor cost, and the cost of inputs have put businesses under strain and threatens business sustainability and global competitiveness of the tea subsector. High volumes of tea. There has been high production of tea, and this together with other issues have led to the crash of the tea prices. We ask for support from the government to expand markets for the Kenyan tea. This will help in cushioning the tea producers when key markets are faced with political and economic challenges as it is today. Of course, as an industry, we cannot forget to laud the government on the provision of the subsidized fertilizers. For the last over 30 years I've been in the industry. Last year is the first time that farmers that are affiliated to KTGA were actually also offered the opportunity to use subsidized fertilizer. I'm sure many will say that that has led to the high volumes, but it has translated to improved incomes to the farming community. On legislative issues, the Tea Act, Your Excellency, your directive during the Kericho Tea Conference in July last year regarding the resolution of the court cases, KTGA has discussed and agreed with the management of the board on terms of resolving the tea court dispute. We are looking forward to closure of the issues so that the industry can focus on business operations. I would like also just to bring to your attention that I have just received a text message from a member representing the governor of Bomet, Professor Hilary Barchok, that Bomet County is over there, is also willing to discuss to resolve the court matter. So I think the chairman of the tea board, please take it up with the Bomet County so that you can be able to resolve the issues. So we urge the board to bring other players on board so that the cases are solved amicably through engagement with all the players in the industry. In conclusion, KTGA reiterates our commitment to developing the subsector and sustainability of industry in order to maintain and grow the benefits to the economy and communities around us. The association will continue to operate within the confines of the law in cooperation with the Tea Board and support the Kenya Kwanza government in realizing their promises to Kenyans and particularly the tea farmers. Thank you.
you, Silas. I'm glad you have said that I'm a stubborn man. Yes, I am. Particularly, Mr. Jivakale has been trying to get me one of his representatives into my board, and I've said no, so long as you have taken us to court, taken the government to court. Until you withdraw, you are not going to sit in my board. And I think why he is finding him very stubborn. And so is the same as East African Tea Trade Association. I've said you are not going to sit in my board, in the tea board, so long as you are in court. You cannot be in court